So I guess my first question, just to launch straight into it, this is based on true events that happened. Can just ask, well, please introduce, let's just introduce ourselves and the films. All the way down the line, this is going to eat up some of my time.
I'm Reed Van Dyke, and I'm the writer-director of DeKalb Elementary.
Darren Seal, I'm the director of the 11 o'clock.
I'm Josh Lawson, I'm the writer of the 11 o'clock.
I am Kevin Wilson Jr., the writer, producer, and director of My Nephew, Emmett.
Hello, I'm Rachel Shenton, the writer and actress in The Silent Child.
Hello, I'm Chris Overton, and I'm the director of The Silent Child.
Hello, my name is Katja Benrad, and I'm the director of Watu, Wote.
Tobias Rosen, I'm the producer of Watu, Wote.
Okay. First question for you guys. Okay, well, how did you come across this? And one of my main questions really is about the research that you did and who you managed to talk to. Then I've got another question for you.
Okay. The film is based on an actual 911 call that made national news back in 2013, and I was doing research for a feature I was writing at the time that was also about a school shooting incident, and for that script, I just needed to know what a 911 dispatcher says when they pick up the phone, like what's the protocol, what's the first thing they say. And so I Googled 911 call, and this happened to be the first call that popped up. And then in writing the film, I was able to get my hands on a good deal of research. There were court documents and police reports, as well as obviously the transcript of the phone call, interviews of people who were there, and then there actually was security camera footage without sound, but footage from the elementary school front office.
And then can I also ask you about the casting of the films? It's incredible casting, especially in the intruder. I don't know if he's an actor or a non-actor. Can you talk about the casting?
Yeah, sure. They're both actors, and I didn't hold the proper casting. I actually just started watching lots of film and television and anything that I thought had people who would fit the character type. And a lot of that was actually just me, scrolling through the cast lists on IMDb of films that I thought might have actors. And so he happened to be in a film called Palo Alto that I knew had young people in it. And so I just was scrolling down the IMDb page for that film, and I saw his headshot, and I thought, well, he looks interesting. And so I found that he'd done some other work and tracked him down in South Carolina and had him audition over Skype. And that was sort of the same story for Tara, who plays Cassandra. She lived in Mississippi, tracked her down, and auditioned her over Skype.
And did you manage to talk to any of the real people involved at all?
I didn't talk to them during the making of the film. In part, I made the film as a student. It's my pre-thesis film at UCLA, and I was sort of in awe of Antoinette Tuff, who the story is based on. And not knowing how the film would turn out, I didn't want to alert her too soon of what I was up to. So.
Hello, boys. How are you doing? Yeah, good. All right, talk us through it. We've just got sort of a shorthand in our countries,
Let's just
Let's get straight to it.
Doctor and his patient have this wonderful respect for each other, and
Yeah, exactly.
that's what it's about. Now, we didn't actually have to look very far for our cast because we were all very close friends, and we have been for a long time before that. And I think one night we had dinner and we drank a lot of wine, and we were talking about this idea, which is Josh's stage play, which had been a stage play for many years. And I was really interested in it. And that night I emailed him and said, "We have to make this. We have to do this together." And so we found the time, and really it was just a sort of labour of love between the group of us. And Damon Herriman, who's here, and Jessica Wren were incredible
Damon.
cast. And the amazing Karen Bryson was producing it. And so, yeah, it was something we did very, very quickly.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on a very depressing film. And stage play. So it started off as a play.
Yeah, so I am a big fan of vaudeville, of the classic kind of double acts like Abbott and Costello and Marx Brothers and that sort of thing. So I had studied a lot of vaudeville when I was in drama school, and in doing that, I was just fascinated by the mathematics of it. The surgical nature of it, the precision that requires. It's sort of like a Sudoku puzzle, that if one number's off, the whole thing doesn't add up, And so that was the fun and the challenge of the script, really. And there was another film in the discussions we had about the script. I mean, that in itself was a who's on first. I mean, it was such a house of cards that the emphasis on the wrong word in one moment would make the whole thing topple over. So it really was a dizzying development process, but the result is so satisfying, I think, for us. Yeah.
Well, it's for me very pleasing to see an Australian film where everyone is dressed in very Australian contemporary Australian clothes, very contemporary setting. Just felt very today.
Yeah. Thank you. It's we're flying the Aussie flag proudly.
And also, the short film that I was nominated for was also based on a short play that I did.
Shit, that doesn't bode well.
Yeah, good luck.
Oh, shit.
Thanks, Liz.
Bummer. And voting's closed, doesn't it?
Voting's closed. Too late. Okay. Moving right along. Kevin. That's you. So, again, based on a true story, can you tell me a little bit about how, I mean, I think a lot of people know the story, but, how you came across it and, how you decided to turn this into a film?
Yeah, when I was 5 years old, my mother showed me a photograph of Emmett Till's corpse, and it was pretty horrifying, and it stayed with me for a while. And she taught me about who he was and how his death impacted the American Civil Rights Movement. And when I got to college in undergrad in Greensboro, North Carolina, I wrote a play about it just because it had stayed with me until that point. And then finally, when I got to NYU's grad film program, it was time to make another short film. And it was a story that was just kind of burning inside of me. And I had just become a father at the time. And I was really interested in the perspective of the uncle who was his guardian at the moment that he was abducted from his home, and the pain in having to decide whether to allow your nephew to be taken or to have your entire family killed. So I wanted to explore that, and I wanted to explore the strength that it took to identify those men on camera, because in the context of that time, in 1955, if you were a black man accusing a white man of anything, you could be killed. So it took enormous strength and courage for him to do that. So those are the moments that I wanted to focus on for the short.
And Spike Lee's involvement? Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Spike is my professor, my directing professor at NYU, and I started taking the script to him during my first year there. And he, and also Casey Lemons, who is a really talented director as well, is my directing professor. Both of them sat with me throughout the process of developing the script and then giving me notes on the final cut. And then Spike gave me a lot of money for post-production once he saw the film. So he helped me finish the movie, and I don't think would have finished it in time without him. Yeah.
Awesome. I think we're all probably curious as to what Spike's email or number is for future post-production ventures we go on. I'm not gonna, no, it's backstage. Okay, the silent child, Chris, Rachel, congratulations. Rachel, I've seen you in the movie. again, you can see a little sort of theme to my questions. Well, where'd the idea come from? I'd love to know a bit about the I know, they don't, but I would love you, Rachel, to talk a bit about the inspiration.
So, yeah, the inspiration behind the movie, it's really, really close to my heart, actually. My dad lived the last 2 years of his life profoundly deaf, and I have huge involvement in the deaf community, and see the struggles that deaf children and deaf people face, and because it's a silent disability that you can't see and it's not life-threatening, it flies under everyone's radar. I feel very passionately about disabilities in film. I think it's something that I think disability is underrepresented in film. So that was another impetus behind the movie, but really it was just the story and the subject that urged me to put pen to paper, yeah.
And then Chris, and I mean both of you probably, just in terms of the casting and like how that process went. I mean, I'm interested in that as well.
Yeah, authentic casting was something that was very important to us. So we had to cast a profoundly deaf child. So we saw over 100 kids with varying levels of deafness, and little Maisie walks in and just blew us away within 20 seconds. And she was the only child that came in whose first language was sign language. So it was just amazing to see this tiny little thing just moving her hands. And I was just like, wow, we were just blown away with her, weren't we? So yeah, authentic casting was really important to us.
Yeah, watching the film, I got incredibly frustrated with everyone around that character. And one of my questions was, and it's not going to be, what are some of the limitations? What are some of the setbacks? It's not a good question. So I'm not going to ask that. I think. Well, I just sort of. I mean, maybe I will. I don't know. I feel like that's just.
I feel like that's the problem. I
that
think
is the problem.
people have that preconception.
Yeah.
I think that is the problem, and I think there is lots and lots of misconceptions around deafness, around disabilities in general, but particularly around deafness for the reasons I mentioned before. You can't see it. No one knows about it. It's a subject that isn't talked about. I felt very passionately that this story needs to be told. And you mentioned the parents. I work a lot with the deaf community, and that's common. That's super, super common. And parents of deaf children, I was very passionate about. I didn't want them to be bad people. They're not bad parents. They're just sort of doing the best that they can with the situation that they've got, and limited resources and limited education. There really isn't that much information out there about this. There isn't a manual. There's no go-to. Nobody's answering the questions from diagnosis when it first happens, a newborn baby. There really is no support. They kind of just go, there you go, off you go, and learn as you go along. And access to education for deaf children is terrible. And I think the problems are all entirely avoidable. It's just basically a lack of awareness and education. And I think that film's a hugely powerful medium to portray a message. So.
And you purposely wrote it in mind with a middle class family, because we purposely didn't want to do it with a working class family, because deafness doesn't discriminate. It's across all walks of life, no matter what background people are from, or if they're lucky in life. It's the same issues, no matter what.
Thank you. Katja, Tobias.
Both.
Either or. You choose. This film is incredibly challenging and a very beautiful film. Again, based on a true story, as you know. Can you talk about his original question? Talk about how the inspiration, how you came across the story.
Maybe you talk about it. Okay. So Tobias grew up in South Africa, and he wanted to tell a story on the African continent from the beginning of our studies at the Hamburg Media School. And during the time we were to pitch our ideas for the graduation movies, this thing just happened. And our principal sent us a newspaper article, and it was like goosebumps in the first moment we read it. It was so important to tell the story, and it was it touched us so much, and the message is so strong. And yeah, it was just a story that wanted to be told, and we wanted to find out if we would be the right ones. So we went to Kenya for a research tour, and we met the most amazing team. One of them is here, and also our cinematographers over there, Christine and Felix. Could you please also get your applause? They are amazing. Yes, they're over there. So yeah, we went to Kenya and tried to find a team and to research, and it became more and more important to really tell the story.
No, I'm fine. No.
Well,
Tobias.
no, I'm done with that. Katja, I'm just talking to Katja now. You're German.
Yes.
I'm just telling you that. It's not,
Okay, thank you.
just in case you didn't know. How was can you talk about filming with the, I don't know if there was a language barrier or not, but can you just talk about, like,
In Kenya, everybody speaks English and Swahili. Like, those are the two main languages. So communication was not a problem. Actually, it's pretty impressive because they have like 42 tribes. Is that true, Christine? Yes, and kids speak like 3 languages at the age of 6, I guess. So they speak English, they speak Swahili, and they speak their tribe language. So that's pretty impressive. So communication was not a problem at all. And we shot it in Swahili and Somali. And the lines they're saying there, I think I know them now, but I worked very closely with a friend and the casting director together. We really had the authenticity we needed. So yeah.
good?
Okay.
Good. Correct.
Thank you.
Correct answer.
I gave my best.
Oh, look at the time. Okay, just quickly, straight down the line. You guys are all nominated for Oscars. Pretty cool. Just quickly talk about that. You go. How's it feel?
I don't know. It's all pretty surreal and it's fun, and it's cool that now that the films get a release in theaters, and so that's been very exciting.
It is surreal, but we made we've got the shortest short. I think would have made it a little longer if it was going to get nominated. But I'm just excited that
Less funny.
Yeah, well, just better. But I'm just excited that the comedy and entertainment. We didn't expect it all to obviously get to this point, and we're just really excited that that is represented.
Yeah, completely. I can jump on the back of that and say that, anyone who knows me knows that I bang the comedy drum loudly and incessantly, and I think it is as valuable an art form as anything. And it is grossly underrepresented often in award shows like this. So for us to be here, it is particularly sweet for me, because I'm just such a student of comedy. I just adore it. So we are, and I said to Darren many times, just so grateful for the Academy for recognizing the work and the artistry that went into a comedy. So thanks.
Yes, very exciting. I'm still a student at NYU right now, and for
Show off.
for us, we never really expected to get to this point, but it's exciting for us because we made this film because we wanted to share the story of Emmett with as many people as possible, and being nominated gives us the theatrical release. And like Reed, that's for me the most exciting part, because so many more people, folks back at home where I'm from in North Carolina, get to watch it the way we intended it for it to be seen on a big screen. So I'm really grateful to be here, and in case I don't get to say this Sunday, thank you to the Academy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just totally surprised to be here still. Feels completely surreal. The subject obviously is incredibly close to me, so to have that in front of a mainstream audience and for people to see that, it feels incredibly special. I also feel like it's definitely a year for diversity, and I think it's important to remember that disability should be in the diversity bracket as well, so very proud of that, yeah.
Yeah, I completely second that, and it's just so lovely to share it with our team who are all out here. Like, it's so excited. We've got our 2 producers and one of our ADs. Stand up, guys. They're awesome, and they've been a huge part of it. So
very British, not standing up. There we go.
So yeah, for the message of the film, to have this platform and to share it with our whole team is incredible. Surreal, isn't it? It's the Oscars, you know. It's mental.
I don't know if I know the right answer, but it's completely surreal for us or for me as well. And at the same time, it just opens the door for our movie and its message to the world. And it's like so many people will see it and will watch it and will know about those amazing, courageous people. So that's just the best. And yeah, you should say something.
Oh, nominated to the Oscars, pretty cool.
All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up. I'd just love to say, heartfelt congratulations to you all. As someone who was nominated in this very category, again, I'll just hammer it home. As someone who didn't win in this category, just so happy for you. So just. I won't be able to sleep at night with all the excitement that is just coursing through my veins for all you people here who are just on the cusp of success. Look, it's not about who wins or loses. It's just about crushing the enemy. And look, I wish you all the best. And look, let's just hope that whoever wins doesn't just like trip on their stairs and break both their arms. But come on, joking. Voting's over. Again, congratulations, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for all the shorts tonight. Thank you, and good night.